y'all. Hey y'all, welcome to the 29th episode of the Yarn This podcast. I'm Shama, Jessie's Girl 84 on Ravelry, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find my Yarn This groups on Ravelry and Facebook. If this is your first time watching, thanks so much for giving me a shot. If you're one of my returning yarnies, thanks for coming back. It means a lot. It's been a very long time since I podcasted. Things in the fall got busy, and I let things get in the way. We went on a cruise, the girls and I did. Then we had 2 fiber festivals, and then, of course, Thanksgiving and all the Christmas stuff, which went into January. And I know, it was just one thing after another, and then I had to get a new phone. I tried to record several times, and my phone wouldn't hold a charge, so I plugged it up, and it made this skippy, jumpy kind of thing. So I got a new phone, and I finally decided to podcast again, and it kept blurring out and wouldn't refocus. Well, I finally figured that out. And the longer I was away, the more intimidated I was about coming back, and I missed it. I missed visiting with y'all, and so after some encouragement from some friends, I've decided that it's time to come back again on a regular basis, set up a more regular schedule, and not be worried about what I've got to show or talk about. If I have a 20-minute episode, I have a 20-minute episode. If it's an hour and 15 minutes, then that's what it is. I know that when I'm podcasting more regularly, I seem to get a lot more done with my knitting, and because I want to have stuff to show. Anyway, enough of the chit-chat. Today is Saturday, June 30th, 2018, and I think it's time for us to talk about our knitting. Puppy love, my work's in progress. See, it's been a long time. Anyway, so I'm working on 2 projects right now. I have another one that's sitting and waiting, and one that I haven't touched in a while, but it's a long-term one anyway. The first one that I haven't touched in a while is a Mother's Heart Shawl by the Periscoping Sisters. I started it over a year ago, and I love it, but other things just kept getting in the way, things for other people, things that I'd rather get knitted, but my plan is here in a few weeks to get it done, because I have some other shawls that I want to get started, and I have some other projects that I want to get done and working on. The other thing that I haven't worked on in a very long time is my Cozy Memories blanket. So those are not going to be shown unless I'm working on them. Now, the 2 things that I'm working on right now are a pair of socks that I started. If you've been watching me a while, you know that my husband and I like to go to the Indy 500 when we get a chance. We didn't get to in 2018, but we did this year. The second hottest race on record, but thankfully we had covered seats because I am not good with the heat. So before we knew it was going to be that hot, I had told my husband, if we go back, I have to have covered seats. So we got them, and we had really good seats right across from Tony Kanon's pit. Anyway, he's my favorite. Excuse me, I got sidetracked. Anyway, so I usually take a pair of socks with me when we go, and I love to knit at the track, or anywhere actually, as you know. And so socks are a good thing because it's always hot, even if it's not as hot as it is this year. It's hot. So these are Wonder Woman Knits at the Indy 500 socks. The pattern is the French Vanilla Cappuccino socks by CC Almond, and I don't usually do vanilla socks because I like to have a pattern. It keeps my mind more occupied. It's more fun for me. But because of this yarn, I didn't need anything but just a basic sock. The yarn is Abby Grasso, I hope I said that right, self-striping sock in the Wonder Woman colorway. And if you've heard of Artistic Yarn by Abby, you know what I'm talking about. That girl can dye some yarn. Here it is in the skein, what I haven't used. You can see that it's sparkly and it's Wonder Woman-y. Okay, oh good, it did go back to focus. And so while I was there, well, This is the one I'm oh, nope, sorry. I should have gotten it out ahead of time. Where did my sock go? There it is. So this is the one I'm working on. And so you can see, I'm in the middle of a round, you can see I do not need any kind of pattern. This yarn is fabulous. Look at the colors. Oh my goodness. I can't even stand it. Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman so much, and this yarn smells so good, as all yarns do, or at least the ones I've ever had. I know there are some out there that probably stink, but not any I've ever had. Yes, yarny. Anyway, so much fun, and I went to town. I was at the end of a pair of socks when we got there, and I finished them up, and I'll show those to you in my FOs. But then once I started, man, I was flying on these socks. They're just so much fun, and I kind of was counting the rows. I knew how many rows between each color change, and so I was ready for the next one, and they're fabulous. I can't wait to finish them so I can wear them. The other thing I have in progress is a blanket for my dad, and I'm not going to talk about that right this minute. I'm going to wait till the end to talk to y'all about why I'm knitting him a blanket, but there's a reason. It started off with his favorite color, which is orange. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and tell you what the pattern is. I'm trying something a little different this time. I decided to bring my laptop in to talk about the projects I'm working on instead of having to write everything down. And then I can show you stuff on my tablet. Okay, this is the Fair and Square blanket. Okay, by Espace Trico. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that's probably not right. And I called it the Family Colors of Love blanket. So I started off with my dad's favorite color in the middle, and then I asked my husband, my boys, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, and their 3 kids what their 2 favorite colors were each. I decided to take those colors and do a solid and a variegated or a speckled or something for each person's color. So it's part of their color is going to be in there, but it might be other colors as well. Anyway, artistic license and all that. So I started off with Daddy's favorite color in the middle. And it's orange. This is a fun blanket. It's actually a baby blanket, and I just really need this to be a lap blanket. So, but I'm keeping on going, and I'm doing 16 rows for everybody else's sections. And every other round you increase 8 stitches. So I'm up to 520 or something stitches per round. Okay, anyway, the next color is for my younger son, and he chose hunter green or forest green and purple. So this has some, it's kind of hard to see, but like right there, some like forest green, and then there's the purple. The next one is my niece, my almost 5-year-old niece. She wanted a reddish pink and a pale or an ice blue, I can't remember. So this is her reddish pink, and I know it's really hard to see exactly what they look like. And then this one's called Arctic Ice. Then my brother wanted red and royal blue. Well, this has some teal in it, but it's got a lot of a royal blue in it, and this beautiful red. Now all of these are acrylics, and I have a list of all the yarns on my project page. There's no sense in taking the time to go through all of them. Now my sister-in-law took some pictures of some clothes that she has that she likes the colors. And this one is the purple, and then this one is like a variegated, and she wanted some yellow and pink, and I think she had some blue. So these are the colors that she chose. Next was my older nephew, and he wanted this teal and orange, which go with a Nerf gun that he has. And these are just about perfect. The teal color is the more variegated one. I'm just over halfway through with that one. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. There you go. And then he wanted neon orange. And so I'm really, really enjoying this. I've got 5 more sections after this one, and I plan to finish it because we're going to have a big family birthday party on July 20th for my younger son, Kelby, my younger nephew, Caden, and my sister-in-law, Christy. Their birthdays are the 17th, 22nd, and 24th of May. Then my niece Etta will be 5 on July 7th, and Daddy will be 79 on July 8th. So we're going to have a birthday party for all 5 of them that day. And I want to get this done for that. And I want to do something for Etta, but it remains to be seen whether or not I have time for that. So those are the 2 things that are currently something I'm working on. The socks less than the blankets, simply because of the time crunch and because I need to get it finished as quickly as possible anyway. Now, as far as another one bites the dust, I have finished so many projects over the last several months that I haven't been podcasting, and I'm not going to show you every single thing, but there are some things I'd like to show you. Let me grab one project. Just one second. It's right here. Okay. I've done some dishcloths. I've joined in with the Yarn Hoarders year-long dishcloth knit-along, and I've only done about 4 or 5 dishcloths. I enjoy them, but then I've had some things that I've needed to get done again. But I'm enjoying those. I knitted, my younger son, loves the game Splatoon, and I don't know, if you're not a gamer, you won't know what it is, but it's a funny little game. And he wanted me to make him a Splatoon squid. And I had to crochet because that was the pattern I found. I decided not to try to take the time to figure out how to make it look like this knitted, so I crocheted it. And there he is. He was actually a lot of fun to crochet. And my son likes him. And he's rather large. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture, but he's rather large. Another thing that I finished was this hat. This I called my Cables and Slouches hat. It's by Tin Can Knits, and it's their stovetop. It's a cabled hat. Oh, and I used this hot pink yarn. It's Gritty Knits Merinosaurus worsted in the Ankylosaurus colorway. I love Gritty Knits. They have a beautiful, beautiful yarn. They're a local Texas dyer. She is, and I'll have a little bit more of her yarn to show you in a little bit too. And while we were at one of the fiber festivals in the fall, the East Texas Fiber Fest, my friend Rainey has started a dyeing company. She has a yarn shop in Beaumont called Strings and Things. But she and her friends have started a dyeing company. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put you on pause so I can find this. Okay, sorry, I feel terrible. It's called UEWE Hues. And it's a dyeing collective. She and some of her friends are dyeing these beautiful yarns, and I'll show you one of them later, the one I bought from them. Anyway, at their booth, they had these snap-on pom-poms, which I guess you've probably seen. And if you haven't, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a big snap, and you have one that you attach to your project, and then it has this part in the pom-pom. And then here's the part I attached, I sewed on. So if you want to wash the project that you have the pom-pom on, you just snap it off, and then when you're ready to go back, you snap it back on. So here's my hat. I'm trying to decide. I love it. I just don't know if it looks good on me. So I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to keep it, but boy, I do love the cables and the color and the pom-pom. I don't know. And besides, I have a kind of a strange shaped head, but I do like it. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, so that's one of the projects I finished, and I actually finished that back in September. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's been a long time since I recorded. What else have I finished? I did a lot of Christmas knitting. I knitted for my boys, my nephews, and my niece for Christmas. The boys had been asking for some Pokemon, and so I got each of theirs. Well, no, one of them wanted a bag. Trying to upload another picture, but the only one I have is in parts. This is a bag called Totes Adorbs by Mochi Mochi Land, and there it is in parts. It's very thick. You kind of stuff it. You leave it kind of loose because you can put things in it. These are the arms of the little creature, and you attach those, and then they're the strap. You can knot them. There are the ears right up there, and the eyes and the mouth is the part where you put whatever you want to carry in the bag. and then it has little feet. It's really cute and was so much fun. And my younger nephew had been wanting this for a long time, actually, and he kept asking me, when are you going to finish my bag? And he was very happy to get it, and I was very happy to give it to him. The other thing I knitted for my other nephew was he wanted a Pokemon called Finnegan, which is a little fox. I bought a crochet pattern, and it was a disaster. It started off great. The head looked just like Finnegan. But when I got to the body, it made no sense. And I even had my friend, who is Michelle, who is a crocheter. Well, she crocheted before she knitted, and she couldn't figure it out. So I gave up on it. And I bought another one, which was a great pattern, but it ended up not being something I could make look like Finnegan. So finally, I bought the third one from Lisa Eberhardt, and it's called the Large Knit Amigurumi Fox. And what I did was I took the colors of the Finnegan, and let's see, I made this into a Finnegan. I did felt eyes, and I did some extra stitches on the flames for the ears, and that's how I turned. Oops, sorry y'all. That's how he turned out. I did him in like 3 days. He was so much fun to knit, and Alton was very happy to get him. Now the other thing that I knit for my niece, and it was a Mrs. Bakery Bear by K.F. Jones, Bryony Bears, or Bryony Bear, sorry. And this picture doesn't have the finished. I didn't have the buttons on. I don't know why I didn't finish putting up pictures. But here she is. I just loved her. She was fun to make. And I thought she turned out pretty cute. The little dress was made out of I Love This Cotton. And yeah, a lot of fun. Let's see now. My two sons, though, I decided kind of on the spur of the moment to knit each of them something. My older son is obsessed with Vikings. And as it turns out, we have some Viking blood in our family, which he was very excited about. So I did a redheaded one because my son is redheaded. And this is the Magnus Ragnar, the Victorious Viking by Rebecca Danger. This is a free pattern. And I ended up putting a lot of hair on this guy. You can see right there all this cut yarn over here. That's for his hair. Let's see here. Here he is finished. My son saw him ahead of time, and then he wrote the sweetest Facebook status about how that was the best present he didn't know he wanted. And I'll show you how much hair I ended up putting on it. It's a ton. But it took a long time, but it was totally worth it, and he loved him. So, you know, it's worth the extra work when the people that you knit for appreciate what you've done. My younger son loves Link. He loves The Legend of Zelda. Always has, always will. So I got the idea, and I used the Magnus Ragnar, the Viking pattern, to knit this Link. I found a Hylian Shield chart, and so I knit this flat. This is the Hylian Shield, if you're not familiar. I'm not real crazy about his eyes. It looks like there's something wrong with him. But here he is done, and I did his little hat. Here he is face down, and you can see. Oh yeah. I also did his sword. I can't think what it's called. And it was like a finger puppet sword, so you could do like finger fighting. It's a really cute pattern. And this is all on my Ravelry pages. You'll be able to see my project page. But I knitted the little sword right there, and I knitted a little sheath, and it attaches to his back, and I'll show you the back of him. So here he is with a shield on his back, and I was really happy with everything about him but his eyes. Those don't make me happy. Anyway, so I've done some other things. I did some birds for my mom. I did 2 birds for her for Christmas. From The Field Guide to Knitted Birds by Arnie and Carlos. And this is the first one. So much fun. That book is very well written. And I'm going to show you the book later. It's great. And then I did this one for her. I let the boys, each of my boys, pick out a color to do for her. So I did that one for her. Really, she was so happy with them. They're in her window. Uh-oh. There we go. And I did one for myself. You can see mine. Stop. Can you see it? No, you can't. Let's see if I can reach it. No, I'll just show you a picture. I did one with a hat. Arnie and Carlos had one with a hat, so I did mine with a little winter hat in the colors that I liked. There it is. Turned out great. If you get a chance to knit one of Arnie and Carlos's birds from their book, do it. The only problem was that there are only like 2 of the ones from the book that are actually on Ravelry. So you can't really link it to a specific pattern in there. I'm going to quickly show you the socks that I've finished. I did Molly's Magical Socks. I used Mrs. Weasley's Family Socks pattern by Homespun House, and I used Brazen Stitchery Paparazzi sock, sorry, in the Molly colorway. And there they are. So beautiful. And then here's the pattern. And it's a simple little pattern, but I really enjoyed it a lot. It gave a little interest. Not a ton of purling, but a purl stitch here and there. You just need to get the pattern, and a lot of fun. I really haven't worn them much because, well, that's a whole other thing that we'll talk about later. Or maybe not. It's not really worth talking about. It's just my stupid feet. Anyway, the next pair of socks I finished were actually my Ravelinic socks. I called them my Shawn White half pipe socks because I love Shawn White. Everything about him. So these were my Ravelinic socks, and I'll show you a mistake I made in just a second. This is yarn from Brazen Stitchery again, and this is their Hermione colorway, which came with a mini skein for toes, heels, and cuffs. Sorry. This is their paparazzi sock on their sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? Look at that yarn. Isn't it amazing? Amazing. So you can see I did the heel here, the toe here, and the cuff until I got to the end, and I was so excited to be finished with my project, my Ravelinics project, before the end of the Olympics, that I forgot to change back for my cuff. Anyway, I didn't even discover it for 2 or 3 days. I took all these pictures and put them up, and anyway, they're very wearable. I love them. It doesn't change anything. The pattern is the Rest Fever socks by the Knitting Expat. She has, during this year, 2 sock pattern clubs, and you get one at the beginning of every other month. But since I joined both, I get one at the beginning of every month because she's alternating months. One is a simpler pattern club, and the other one is a little bit more complicated pattern. So far, nothing's been too complicated at all. Great patterns. I'm really, really enjoying them. And I'll get one tomorrow because it's July 1st, so I'm excited about that. What else have I knit and finished that you'd be interested in? I did a cute little trio for St. Patrick's Day. These were all Mochi Mochi Land patterns. I did a leprechaun, a 4-leaf clover, which she released as a free pattern this year, and I did her rainbow. And I did 2 or 3 of the 4-leaf clovers and put a pin back on them, and my younger son and I wore one each on St. Patrick's Day, which is the day before my birthday, so I love St. Patrick's Day. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about this one. This one's kind of a big one. My older son wanted a hat with Thor's hammer on it. Now, I don't know, what people know, but Thor's hammer is called Mjolnir, M-J-O-L-N-I-R, Mjolnir. So he wanted Mjolnir written in runes on the hat. He wanted the hammer itself, and then I decided to add some decoration. I knitted it almost to the end. I think I finished it the first time, and I had put the runes above the hammer, and it couldn't be seen. So I just tossed it. It was easier to throw it away. Well, actually, yeah, I think we finally threw it away. Than it was to rip it back and start over. So I started over, and I found a chart, and this is the hammer. No, okay, this was the first hat. This was the mistake hat. You can see how I did the runes above it, but I used the same hammer pattern. And then I went back and I did the runes. I did the runes on the bottom, and then I did the hammer, and then I came back in and did some kind of embroidery over the top from some Celtic, I probably like embroidery or cross stitch patterns I had seen. And when I did the runes, I duplicate stitched them. And he loves the hat. He's worn it quite a bit. So I was happy to get that done for him and for him to be able to use it. I did a little bit of crochet. I found this little Easter egg ornament pattern, and I had these for Easter. I did a bunch of them, and I wore a couple of them on Easter, and I think I pinned one to my niece's dress on Easter. Anyway, those were a lot of fun, and y'all know I'm not a crocheter, but that ended up being a lot of fun. Now, getting down to where I am now, what I finished very recently, I did these Stuffy Owls. I did one for my mom, one for myself, and one for a friend that's supposed to go to Canada, but I've had a lot of things come up and I haven't sent him yet. Here's the one I did for myself. It's called The Stuffy Owl by Amanda Berry. There's mine, because I can't do anything in normal colors. Here's the one that's supposed to, I am so sorry, that's my mom's. That's right, this is my mom's. This one is mine. And the one that goes to Canada, I really like this one, and someone else has asked me to knit her one, and I will. I just haven't had a chance yet. That one, I love him. And I'll probably get him sent off here in the next few weeks. I've just had a lot going on. I knitted a little purple pug for my friend Michelle's little girl. Now this is the color that he actually is. But here he is finished in these colors. His colors didn't come out right. Let me see if I can. There he is from the front. And you put, what do you call them? Pipe cleaners in the ears. I really didn't want to do that with the ears, but what I did was I just folded them over and stitched them down. But I did put a pipe cleaner in his tail, and it was curly like that. And she loved him. She was very, very happy with him. When we decided to go to the 500, I decided, for some silly reason, to knit my husband a little race car. And I found this. It's called Race You by Louise Watling, W-A-T-L-I-N-G. And what it is you can knit several little race cars, and then you can knit like a race car mat with a road, like a track on it. And I just knit this one little car for my husband. I did it in red because it's his favorite color. And he went with us. So here he is. This is the helmet. This is the steering wheel. Here's the spoiler on the back. And then those are the wheels. And it was a lot of fun to make. I mean, my husband said thank you and everything, but I just don't think knitting excites him like it does me, which is fine. It's fine. Okay, I think the last two things I finished. The first thing was recently, if you watch the Bakery Bears, they have just recently done their 100th episode. They're like on episode 103 now. But she released a free little pattern called A Bookmark for Dobby, KF Jones. And I decided to knit mine in the sock yarn that I have that's neon. And here he is, here it is. It's a tiny little sock. I mean, you knit the whole sock. So much fun to knit. And I want to knit some more of them. I'm thinking of doing them in house colors. And This was done in sock weight yarn. The yarn was Lana Grossa Myelin White, and the neon colorway. And there you go. Lots of fun. Okay, I know I've been going on and on. Sorry. The last thing that I've completed was a pair of socks. This is my hippos and Easter egg socks. And Lolo did it everyday sock in her hippo for Easter. And this is the Derive sock pattern. Another one by the Knitting Expat. And here's the yarn. Lolo did its hippo for Easter. Oh, I love it. And then here is the pattern. And one of the things that I do like about Mina Phillip, the Knitting Expat, what I like about her patterns is that she does a pattern on the front of the leg, but not on the back. I mean, this would fit fine because it's kind of lacy-ish, but it's kind of nice just to have half of it to do. And this was a great, great pattern. I finished these after we got to Indiana, and then I started my Wonder Woman socks. And last but not least, I do have a hoe to show you. I finished my first Wonder Woman sock in like, I don't know, I think I started it on Friday and finished it on like Monday or Tuesday. And so here it is. I didn't do a contrast toe, heel, and cuff on this one. I just went with it. And I'm very happy. Yes, it made a thin little stripe right there. But honestly, I don't care. I really don't mind. I did my usual Fish Lips Kiss heel. 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles, my 9-inch circs, which is what I do for all of my socks unless there's a cable. So there you go. I'm planning to get that other sock finished pretty quickly, as well as my dad's blanket. And I would like to knit one other thing before the birthday party, because my niece has asked for, she wants a snow tiger, but she wants it, I think she wants it pink with green speckles and like a blue or something. I can't remember what colorways she wants, but I will find the yarn and I will knit this for her because she's just too cute and funny, and she's going to be 5 years old. Sorry about all that. That was a long, drawn-out thing. My next things that I'm going to work on, I'm going to see if I can show you. Where did the yarn go? I'm going to show you this yarn. I'm going to stand up, and while I'm standing up, I'll show you the shirt I got at the Indy 500 this year. I got, I got one that just was for this year's Indy 500, and it's tie-dyed. It's red and blue and navy blue. So here it is. Indy 500, May 27th, 2018. 102nd running. Anyway, I'm going to show you this yarn. My younger son has asked me to knit him some Dragon Ball Z socks. It's the emblem that he wants on the socks, so they're going to be a solid orange, and I don't do orange. But anyway, this is Lolo Did It Everyday sock in her Blazing Sevens colorway, and for, you know, for it to be orange, it's really very pretty. And then I bought these two mini skeins when I went to the DFW Fiber Fest, and they are by Sun Valley Fibers, and this is the Champagne colorway, and this is Onyx. So these will be upcoming pretty quickly, like probably the end of July. And the other thing is the Changes Shawl by Mina Phillip. I'm going to pull this pattern up and show you. Y'all, this is probably a completely awkward podcast, and I'm very sorry, but I just had to get my feet wet again, and I appreciate your patience. Okay, Changes Shawl by Mina Phillip. When we were in Indiana, I always get to go to the Mass Avenue yarn shop, and my husband had ordered me a gift card for Mother's Day to use there. And so I got two of the skeins of yarn that I got there were for this shawl. Oh my goodness, every time I search for it, you would think. It calls for 2 full skeins of sock yarn and then 10 20-gram mini skeins. Well, I got the two that I'm going to use, which are right here. Poppy, stop. Stop. My dog is down here getting into things. The two that I got for this project, and actually all four of the skeins that I bought from there are by a dyer called La Jolla. They don't have colorway names. They call it the month that they dyed it in. Anyway, these are the skeins that I got for my shawl, my Changes shawl by Mina Phillip. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look in my library. This is like a purpley gray colorway. It's beautiful, very, very pretty. But then when I got it home, I thought, well, as much as I love this, and I do love this, what colors can I put with it? So I waited till the Houston Fiber Fest this last weekend, sorry. And I went around and asked my friends what they thought. I went through Kim's minis because she had a ton of minis. So I got some from Kim and I got some from the Gritty Knits booth. Okay. I'm finally at here it is. First, let me show you what the shawl looks like. So I'm thinking the center section here is going to be the main section with my main colors of yarn. And I just thought this was beautiful. Really, really pretty. And like I said before, I love her patterns. I love her sock patterns. And I just enjoy knitting her patterns. So here are the two main colors. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold them up and show you. But I got this pack of minis, like I said, from Gritty Knits. These are her time bomblets. Can you see those? So I've got these to go with it. Let me pull those out. And I was very happy with all these colors because it's pinks and purples and blues and kind of turquoise and teal, which are my colors. So here's this set, and I don't have the names of them. Sorry about that. Okay, here you go. These are the ones for one set. And then the others that I got from Kim, I'm going to use her Unicorn Fields, which is, I already have it up there and I forgot to get that down. I'm not going to stop again. But I got this one. And this one is her Cosmic colorway. I got Royal, which is really more purple than blue. That looks very blue, but it's more purple. This one is Plum Jam. Oh my goodness, y'all, look at these. And then the last one is called Wild. And so these colors and these colors all mesh well together. Let's see if I can get them in there. So there you go, that's them. And they're all going to go in here, wherever they need to. And I'm going to spread the two that are more semi-solid further apart. And the ones that are similar colors, I'll spread more apart. However that works. And so that's my next project. That's why I want to get a Mother's Shawl finished, or Mother's Heart finished, so that I can get started on this. I'm super duper excited about this. Beautiful colors. So many colors. Color just inspires me no end. Sorry, I'm going to drop this down. The other yarns that I got at Mass Avenue in Indianapolis, they were all by, like I said, by La Jolla. It says Ba. Here's a sheep. Here's their label. Here's their tag. This one is her May 2018. And I really liked the aqua and turquoise. And look, there's a pop of green right there. Oops. Can you see that green right there? And then the pinks. I'm not a big fan of peach, but it goes along with these other colors so well that that's great. I think these will make probably socks, but I'm not positive. And then here is the other one. Oh, this teal, and then this like natural with a lot of speckles, purples, and like lime green. There you go. This is her Blue Hawaiian. This one actually does have a name. There were several I had picked out, but, you know, I don't have an unlimited budget. And so, yeah, and they always have neat bags. One of the bags I got from them a few years ago, and it's somewhere, and it's got my dishcloths in it, and it's a clear plastic, like a vinyl bag. This year, this was the bag. Mass Avenue Yarn Shop, and that's their little, I guess, their mascot. She's always got classes going when I go. She's always got a ton of people in there knitting with her, and she's always super friendly. It's a great shop to go to. Again, y'all, I'm very discombobulated, but I had so many things to show you. This next skein of yarn, I'm not going to show you everything that I got at the East Texas Fiber Fest because that was so many months ago. But I told you my friend Rainey started this dye collective with her friends called U Hues, and here's their tag. And I got this yarn called Freedom. Well, obviously I haven't knit up 4th of July socks, and it's Wednesday, so that's not going to happen. But you know what? I will wear patriotic any day, every day, all day. And I bought this skein of let's see, I didn't get the colorway on this one, to go for the I do that every time, the toe, heel, and cuff. So this is a very exciting one. I'm not even sure if they have a website yet, but I'll find out and let y'all know. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. I've known Rainey for several years now. She's in my, was in my Lone Star State Knitters group, and that's how we originally met. And then she lived in Beaumont, so I would go visit her, and then she started her shop. And anyway, lots of fun. I love that girl. What else was I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you a little bit about DFW. I've already put my yarns away that I got there, but I am going to pause you and grab a couple of them because you need to see them. Sorry. Okay, well, I have a missing skein of yarn. I can't find it anywhere. So that's what I was doing, was trying to find it, and I still haven't found it. Anyway, I'm going to quickly go over what I got at DFW and show y'all, show y'all the yarns, most of them anyway, and maybe a few of the other little things. One thing that I didn't get down was some yarn that's kind of a yellowish gold color, and then like a charcoal that I'm going to use to knit myself a scarf. What house am I in? Hufflepuff. Yes, I'm going to knit myself a Hufflepuff scarf. I was originally going to knit it to wear when we went to see the Harry Potter. It was the Prisoner of Azkaban, and the Houston Symphony was playing the soundtrack over it. It was amazing. I just didn't get it done, but I will get it done so that I can have a beautiful Hufflepuff scarf. I didn't get that yarn down though. I'll show you some of the ones I did get though. I got this one. It's by the Knitting Lanyap. They're another Texas dyer. And they're sun-kissed yarn. And this is called Unicorn's Mane. And I was going to make a spin around and then decide. But when I found this, sparkly in my colors, and it has to do with unicorns, I got it. So there's that. I'm going to quickly go through these. I got this one from Night Owl Fibers, another local dyer. She's actually from the Houston area. Her name is Rachel Pausell. And this is the We're All Mad Here colorway. I thought this was beautiful. And I think someone told me that this was her exclusive DFW colorway. And look at that little pop of like burgundy right here at the end. But I think this is beautiful, beautiful yarn. Beautiful. I got a skein from Mustache. This is her Perfect Self-Striping sock and the matching skeins, but I always pull from the opposite end so they don't match because I'm like that. This is the modern colorway. I thought that was beautiful, and you really get a good idea. I mean, she has knitted samples, and that's what sold me on it, having these little black pops of color in there. I love having black in there. And then I bought a mini skein, and it was Paul from her Fab 4 collection. And this is also a perfect sock, and it's a turquoise. So I'm excited about knitting some socks out of this too. I'll probably have a pattern, use a pattern for this, but beautiful. And then the last one I got was from Brazen Stitchery, and it's their Luna colorway, Luna Lovegood. Watch out for Nargles. Ta-da! Look at that. Dyed by Penny. Look, y'all. Look at the colors. Oh, love it. I love it. So that was very exciting. The one that I can't find is this amazing blue. The bluest royal blue. I'm still looking. It's got to be somewhere, unless some thief came in and stole one skein of yarn, which I doubt they did. It was me. I worked in the booth with Karen, excuse me, of Round Table Yarns, and she pays you by the hour, which I ended up not getting cash. I bought her Parliament of Cowls book, and then I bought that beautiful blue skein of yarn. She's got cables, and I'm going to see if you can get a good picture of this one. It's a bright yellow, so it's hard to see, but it's cabley. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know if you can really... It's really hard to see. It's a beautiful, I mean, you can see it when you're looking at the book, but to hold it up to the camera, it's really difficult to see. That's her cuckoo pattern. She has this one that's just knits and pearls. It's just a textured stitch, but I think it's really, really pretty. And she had all of these samples knit up, or has somebody that knits her samples. I'm not really sure. I think somebody does some of her samples. And boy, when you see those samples knit up, it makes you appreciate the patterns even more. But the one that I got the yarn for, well, actually there were a couple of them. They both have hearts. One of them is called the Second Tercel, and it's this is the heart cowl. Can you see the heart patterns? There you go. Oof, I thought that one was beautiful, but there's this one, and it's cabled hearts, and this one is called Royal Tercel. So I'm probably going to do one of the Royal or the Second Tercel cowl in that yarn if I can find it. There's another one here though that does have hearts as well. Her yarn is amazing, and her patterns are really well written. This is the Hormel pattern, and here's it's another one that has kind of hearts. It's actually the one that's on the cover of the book. You see that? So I'm not really sure. I know I want it to have hearts, and I don't want it to be from this book out of that yarn. Anyway, quickly I'm going to show you what I got at the Houston Fiber Fest last weekend. Show you a few new bags that I've gotten, and try to get it wrapped up here. I'm getting close to an hour, but okay. So the other yarns that I got last weekend, I got this one from Brazen Stitchery. I always have to get from my girls, Penny and Stacy. And this is their Frankenberry colorway. Oh, Frankenberry. It's so perfect for the cereal and the box. Amazing and beautiful. It's very sparkly. Yeah, you can see the sparkles. So this is Frankenberry in their paparazzi sock base. Brazen Stitchery. Actually, I think this camera might show things backwards. I'm not sure. I bought this one from Kim Marie's Knit Knacks. We decided that this particular color would not look good in my Changes shawl, but I love the colorway so much I bought a full skein of it. It's the Black Cherry, and so it's got hot pinks and black, and then a lot of naturals. But I thought that was, look at that. And yeah, look at those colors. Look at that. Woo! Amazing. And it smells delicious. Then Allie and Madeline, sorry, I'm about to drop something. Allie and Madeline of Savvy Skeins were there. And they're just such good friends of mine. And I knew I always get something from them as well. And so this one is their Rain colorway. And I didn't look at anything but the color when I bought it. I just saw this and I thought this was fantastic. Look at that right in there. But look at this burgundy. And it's on the Rain. It's the Rain colorway, but it's their Lush MCN base, which I didn't even realize when I bought it. This one's definitely going to have to be a cowl or a shawlette, or maybe something I can add to it to make it a shawl, a full shawl. But this is too beautiful to put on my feet. I'm not going to put cashmere on my feet. Another beautiful yarn from Allie. Now there's a girl. Her name is Lisa, and she's the knitting artist. And she dyes yarn to match her artwork. She is truly amazing. She does beautiful, beautiful work. Where did I put? Oh, it's over here. She gives you a card. Sorry, I'm disappearing again. Sorry. A card to go with. Oh, man. So disorganized, y'all. A card, an art card, to go with the yarns that she dyes. Well, here's the painting. And you really can't appreciate it. And then here's the yarn that went with it. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. And, oh, I can't wait to knit this up as well. I have one of her cards that I bought at the East Texas Fiber Festival, and it's also beautiful. I almost got that yarn, and I might the next time I see her, but I decided to go with this one this time. But she does tennis shoes as well, and her tennis shoes, she makes them look knitted. She draws on them with Sharpie, but she dyes them, and they are just amazing and beautiful. I'm going to show you some of the bags I've gotten, tell you one other thing, and then I'm going to get off because it's really getting close to an hour. I've heard about these bags right before my trip called By the Bay Yarn Company, and she is located just south of me, I believe in Friendswood, Texas, which is down on the coast. So I sent her a message because I know she was swamped because she was on a couple of really big podcasts. I think Yarn Hoarder was one of them, and I cannot remember who else. But she makes these bags. They're like the fringe. I think that's fringe. But the fringe bags are so expensive. And I sent her a message and I said, if you cannot do this, please don't worry. But is there any way you could possibly get a bag to me before my trip? And she did, and then we had something happen, which I'm going to talk about. And I never thanked her publicly, and it was a great bag. I took it on my trip with me, and I carried my projects in it. And this is her large bag, and it is a plain fabric. Very well made. It's got pockets in it. It's a canvas. And I'm using it to put my pen collection on. I'm collecting pens now, and I'll show you those as well. But here's the bag. I got gray. It's a canvas bag. I'm sorry it's kind of wrinkled, but that's not how you get it. That's not how it comes to you. And inside it doesn't have like a lining fabric, but she's got these great pockets. And then here are my pens. This is one I already had. Hang on, let's see if I can do this. This one right here is one I already had. This one was one that my friends Sue and Michelle bought for me at the Dallas at DFW Fiber Fest. You see that? Right there. I bought this one at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I got these two from Knit Picks, and then Sue bought me this one when she went on her trip to where did she go? Colorado. To Colorado. So this bag is amazing, and she got this bag to me, and then I didn't thank her, and I really, really do appreciate it. So go check her out. She's very sweet. She'll get right back to you, and she makes these amazing bags. Like I said, I carried this one all around Indy while we were there, and it was great. This is the little handle. so it kind of can go over your arm, even if it's a bigger bag like this. If you don't feel it so full that it's heavy, this is a great bag. Can't say enough good things. Another bag that I got was from my sister-in-law, and she and the kids met up with me for my birthday. This was back in March, but I just had to show y'all. This is, they know me very well, a Flamingo bag. I love this bag. I'm very careful where I carry it because it's white, and I cannot be trusted with light colors. Anyway, so this is my Flamingo bag. I wanted to quickly show that to y'all. Now, what I got this past weekend, there was a girl there. Oh, here's the card. Here's the card from Lisa Urban, the knitting artist. I'll take it out of the pack. She gives you a note card when you buy the matching yarn, but then she also has prints of her paintings for sale. Oh, I'm sorry, I held it upside down. Here it is. Oh, look at that. And that's, her yarn is inspired by her paintings. And she showed us her design process for her paintings. She's just brilliant. She's brilliant. She's an art teacher I think at a junior high, and those kids are very, very fortunate to have her. Okay, so here's the first bag I bought this past weekend. This was very exciting, very exciting. I wasn't going to buy anything immediately, and before we opened on the first day, I bought this bag. And this is another local girl. She doesn't even knit, but she makes bags, and somebody recommended that she go to this show, and she was selling bags like crazy. And this one I knew I had to have is her Wonder Woman bag. Oops, sorry. So here's the one side. Here's the other side. There she is. There's my girl. Here is an end pocket. Now I'm going to see if I can show y'all. The inside is made with vinyl. It's lined with vinyl. Look at that. And then here are the pockets. Yes, here we go. Here are the pockets. And they have this beautiful blue, navy blue and white polka dot fabric. And here's the pocket. And then there's another pocket on the inside on the end. This is an amazing bag, and it holds so much. They were also selling buttons. So I got these buttons from them. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about my stitch markers. I have to show you all these expensive stitch markers. I have never spent this much on stitch markers, and I won't even tell y'all. But I was very happy to get them. So they had they had all kinds of buttons for sale, and I got these two. Oh, yes, love them. And then I got this one from Stacy at Brazen Stitchery, and her son had designed this. This is Chuck, the sheep. There he is. So cute. I love him. Here are my stitch markers. These are my Harry Potter stitch markers, and I'm going to quickly show you. Oops, Sirius, Neville, of course, Dumbledore, he who shall not be named. Let's see. A Dementor. Let's see, there you go. Snape. Malfoy. There you go, sorry. And sweet little Dobby. Now the rest of them, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, are on my blanket for my dad. Evelina, who designed the Wonder Woman bag, also had some t-shirt bags. They're very well made. She's got a t-shirt on the outside, and then they're lined, and they've got pockets. She makes really great bags. She's also a quilter. All for Love is the name of her shop. All for Love. So I got this Superman backpack, t-shirt bag. Here are the straps, and I've used it. Also, it's very stiff, but that's okay because you don't want to cover up Superman, do you? I don't think so. And inside is this red lining, and you can see these pockets. And I carried it earlier this week. I had some places I had to be, and I carried it. It's a great bag, really great bag. Let's see, the last bag I got was this one from a shop called Mohair and More. They're another local business. And it's a yarn ball. And then these knitting needles. I thought this was great. They had several bags that I really liked, but I got this one. Anyway, that was what I got this last weekend, I think. That's a lot, y'all. Okay, so quickly, let me tell you what's going on with my dad. On May, I believe it was the 16th, we found out, it was the day before my younger son's 24th birthday. Dad had been having some stomach issues and had found a couple of swollen lymph nodes. And he went to the doctor and they ordered an MRI. And actually this was a week before that. And they called him and told him he had lymphoma. And they told him to go see this doctor. So he went the next day to see this guy who just was like, yeah, well, I can't seem to get in touch with anybody that has your results on your tests. So call me back in a couple of days. And I said, no way, this is unacceptable. So I talked to a cousin of mine. I have several cousins here that are all nurses. But my cousin has actually used this doctor. Her name is Dr. Doshi, and she's an oncologist and a hematologist. So we got an appointment quickly. And we went. This was right before our trip to Indianapolis. We went to see her, and she confirmed the lymphoma diagnosis. So we had to have a biopsy done, and that was a surgical procedure as well as implanting the port because they knew that it was cancer, so he was going to have treatments. We have had the best doctors. We saw a doctor named Dr. Fan, and he did the biopsy and then put the port in, and it was confirmed that it's lymphoma. It is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We don't know what stage it is yet because his insurance company kept denying the PET scan, which is what tells you what stage it is. We finally got that done yesterday. And it took several weeks. The insurance kept denying and denying and denying, or at least dragging their feet. And they finally said okay, and we got started with his chemo this week, as well as another treatment that's an antibody. I can't think what it's called now. That's supposed to immediately start breaking down the cancer cells, and it already seems to be doing the job. Anyway, things are going to be fine. It's going to be a road, but we don't have to go for treatments but like once a month. And he comes to my house, and someone stays with my mom in Lufkin, and it's going to be great. It really, really is. And we've been so fortunate to have such wonderful people, medical professionals helping with this, as well as family and friends who are in the medical field who've been able to give us advice and help us. And so here we are. We're on the road to recovery at this point, and things are looking up already. It was just the waiting game, and he was in so much pain because this thing is the size of a football in his abdominal cavity, and my dad is already skinny, and it was taking the nutrients, and he wasn't being able to eat. And so he's already doing better, and with prayers and love and continued care, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine because lymphoma is curable, and we're very thankful for that. But it's been a rough few weeks, couple of months, and we're thankful that we've had so many people around us that love and care. And I'll keep y'all updated as we go. And I'm back, y'all, like it or not. And I promise next time not to be so long-winded. I do want to talk about some books next time, but yeah, I've been going for over an hour now, so I'm going to stop, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks. And until next time, knit on.